So we have an article here posted by xdadevelopers.com, and they talk about everything we can expect from Microsoft in 2023. And they bring up some really cool things. Obviously, the Surface Pro, different laptops, different computers, different operating systems. But the one that I think we're all kind of curious about is the one that is sitting there glaring its beautiful, beautiful name right in front of us. The Surface Duo 3. Now, this article does go ahead and list the fact that Microsoft hasn't exactly found much success with the Surface Duo lineup of smartphones, but the company has been putting effort into supporting the existing models. Surface Duo 2 was a major upgrade for the original version and has been receiving updates. Obviously a bit late. The original Surface Duo 1 was supposed to get their updates, Android 11 was like 4 months late, 5 months late. And then you, of course, had the Surface Duo 2 that had problems with Android 12L. They came out within December where they fixed some of the problems. Anyway, though, just recently, the company introduced a completely refreshed UI for the phones, making them more similar to Windows 11. Now, I do not agree with that statement. And the reason why I say that is because, while yes, technically did they make something that looks like Windows 11? Yes. But to say that, to say the way they phrased it, I would not agree with. Like, they did not make something that looks like Windows 11. It has some reflection of Windows 11, it has some gestures and some looks like Windows 11, but it doesn't function like Windows 11. It doesn't have any type of functionality like Windows 11. So yes, it's more like a skin than it is actually, similar in any kind of way. So we believe that the Surface Duo 3 is most likely in the works. Since the Duo 2 is already over a year old, it's about time for an announcement. Now, my problem right now, with that whole idea, because I agree that it should be, theoretically speaking, in the works, right? But if we go to Microsoft.com, and I'm not going to use my VPN to put myself in Europe, I'm going to put myself in America right now, United States. The Surface Duo 2, is it currently sold out on Microsoft's website? That's the question, right? Because that's what I feel like they have, and yep, it is currently sold out. This is what I'm talking about. Because in order for the Surface Duo 3 to come out, I feel like this would more or less have to be back in stock. Now, of course, it just says the Microsoft Surface Duo Business Edition. I believe that's the exact same edition as the regular edition. And the regular edition, I believe, will not pop up at all. Yeah, I don't think it's going to pop up at all for me if I'm in America. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, actually, okay. Am I in a different country? Hang on, hold up, guys. I gotta make sure I'm back in America right now. Let me get back on my plane. Okay, I don't even have a VPN on right now, so I'm not sure why it's showing not USD. I don't have a VPN on right now, so anyway, yeah, it's still sold out. And now, well, actually, it's not sold out if you're in the United Kingdom, but if you're in the United States, let me see if I put in the United States, if I can actually unsell myself out here. Let me go to my VPN. No, I'm literally connected to... Okay, I'm not sure why it shows me this currency. I'm literally connected to California right now. So, no idea. Anyway, though, it is sold out in America. I've checked it last night. Unless it randomly got refreshed today and came back in stock, it's still sold out. So I feel like in order for them to actually go ahead and give us Surface Duo 3, Surface Duo 2 would have to come back in stock at least, right? You'd have to at least have a prior version of that phone. Now, again, don't be wrong. They could say, hey, listen, we never can make stock of that phone. So now it's out. It's done. We're not talking about Surface Duo 2 anymore. And they kind of discontinue the whole product. A lot like they did with Surface Duo 1. But I just feel like that's so weird to have it discontinued the first 2 generations of your phone. Maybe it's possible. It's not really a huge deal if they do it. It's just one of those things where I feel like they would bring the Surface Duo 2 and have something like have it back in stock to kind of get a little bit more hyped up for the Duo 3 releasing. So obviously, yes, the Duo 3 would need to improve on some things the Duo 2 was lacking. And one of the biggest things, of course, was the 90 hertz inside display, which of course was an upgrade from the Surface Duo 1, which was a 60 hertz display, and then got upgraded to a 90 hertz inside display. But if they do come out with Duo 3, they would probably have to give us a 120 hertz inside display. So meaning both panels are 120 hertz. And that would probably be the number one thing they need to fix. Obviously, you could say waterproofness, you could say wireless charging, you could say a whole bunch of other things, but that's probably the number one thing people are going to want to see with a Surface Duo 3. Perhaps most importantly, Microsoft really needs to have a strong software experience right out the gate. That's another thing. So what I said with the Surface Duo 2, and they simply did not deliver, was they need to make sure this software in this phone works perfectly before you release it to the consumer. And I can't stress that enough. It cannot be trash before you give it to the consumer. It has to be ready to go, ready to play, and ready to be perfect before the consumer does go ahead and get it. Seeing as the previous 2 models both have issues at launch, and of course a newer model would have a newer processor too, obviously. It would also hopefully have a little bit more gigabytes of RAM. Can we push 12 gigabytes? You know, that's possible. Love to see that. It would also be great to see some kind of external display for quick, glanceable information. Microsoft tried to address this with the Surface Duo 2 using the curved edge of the display to show notifications when the device is closed. An outside display would be cool and interesting at the exact same time. I would not be against that. I've said many times, I would love to have an outside display on the front of this device. And again, like they just say right here, like the Galaxy Z Flip series, you can make a small panel that's literally a 1:1, ratio panel and give us that on the outside display of the Surface Duo 3. I think a lot of people will be fine with it and okay with it. And that's all they talk about. And then again to the Surface Hub 2, which is nothing. Yeah, it's not about the Surface Duo 3, whatever. So again, like I said, yes, what other things could they upgrade? Well, first off, they could make the camera bump a little bit smaller. I think the average consumer of the Surface Duo products would love to see a smaller outside camera bump. Obviously wireless charging, obviously waterproofness, and a little bit bumped up on gigabytes of RAM. Get 120 hertz across the board on both these panels, and this phone would be perfect. Now, all the things I just listed, you know what? And obviously, outside display would be cool too. You know what? All the things I just listed was a plus of the price tag. It is what it is. If we got all those things, this phone would be $3,500 to $3,000. If you want to pay that price tag, you pay that price tag, right? That's really what it comes down to. Now, with that being said, they just add the 120 hertz inside display and they make sure the software is ready to go. First off, this should be running Android 13 when it does go ahead and launch. It'll be fine. It'll be perfect. There won't be any problems at all. And I think majority of the community would absolutely adore this phone and get 1000% behind it. I don't think that it's going to take much for this phone to be successful. It's not. This phone, unlike the Galaxy Z Fold 4, has one thing going for it, and of course, it's the fact that it's not plastic foldable glass. It's actual Gorilla Glass Victus. Has it going for it. Microsoft, the ball's in your court. You gotta bring us something special this year. And this is, in my opinion, your last chance. I don't think if the Surface Duo 3 flops, you just got to stop the series. You got to move on from the Duo lineup and move on to a new phone. I don't think you can really go a 0-3 right now for the Surface Duo 3. Ironically enough, I think you kind of have to hit it out of the park here. And when I mean 0-3, I mean for the literal, you know, to make it a flagship device. Okay. For the average guy like myself, like probably you're watching, who loves this device, who loves this phone no matter what, who will get behind this phone no matter what the phone does or what the phone shows off. Yes, we'll buy this phone no matter what, okay? We love this phone, but if they want to get a flagship market and really get this phone out there to become very successful, because at the end of the day, the way this phone becomes the most successful is this phone has to be in the pockets of every single billionaire, every single millionaire businessman out there, or businesswoman, businessman and businesswoman out there. That's the only way. That's what the end goal for this phone has always been. It's a work phone. It's a business phone. It's a phone that, you know, a billionaire goes to his job, he goes to his office. He has this phone in his pocket. He's answering emails while also on the phone call or video call with somebody. He's, you know, texting somebody back while also working on a budget. That's what this phone has always been. And that's what we need to see this phone really get pushed toward in 2023 with the new release of the Surface Duo 3. We've seen patents revealed about this phone. Patents have shown us amazing things about what this phone could be. Microsoft, the ball's in your court. Please don't miss your 3-point shot. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.